Welcome to Hunter Fuel, a supernatural rewatch podcast for adults who enjoy their show with a chaser. I'm Liz.
And I'm Lynn.
Oh, we are together in the same room, and I feel like I should have mentioned this before, but we are having a slumber party, so no one is driving. No, no one is driving anywhere, and it shows. So we are taking another dive back into the still in need of which side is here it is. Still in need of a better name topic jar.
So, and Jody, when you one time you had asked us why we don't usually record multiple episodes at one time, this is why.
This is why.
Yeah, because yeah,
Mm,
when you record
mm.
multiple episodes, you have to keep you don't have to, but
Don't
well,
you?
it is one of our rules.
You don't have to drink.
But
Excuse me.
we're definitely choosing to.
I feel inspired to do so, however.
Yeah. It's gonna get interesting.
This is gonna be fun. Buckle in. Okay, so first question out of the jar. We have a question from a personal friend and friend of the podcast, Gene Z. Um, he wants us to talk about how family is portrayed in the show.
Ooh. I mean, it's a very, it's pretty much the staple
Hmm.
of the show, but it's shown in many different ways.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, absolutely.
because you see the dysfunctional part of it.
They do
Um,
put the fun in dysfunctional.
yes, they do. But then you also see the core and how important that is, especially I would say especially to Dean, because I think it's important to Sam as well.
Oh, it's important to Sam as well. You're not wrong, but it's I think I think for Dean, it's all he's ever had, and he can't really see past his family. Like, um, we had watched the episode What Is and What Should Never Be with the Jinn.
Yeah,
And like there's that great scene with him at um his father's grave. He's like, not not the you who played softball you, but the real you. So he's having this one-sided conversation, and he immediately starts talking about his he doesn't talk about himself and what he wishes for himself. He immediately starts talking about the family. Like, Dean understands himself in relationship to his family in a way that isn't Sam is not exactly the same way. Not that they're not
no,
important to him at all.
no, but I mean, we saw in, I want to say it was Shadow, but you know episode titles much better. And yes, I will
Well,
be.
we have more practice, but
um where where the brothers have the fight and split up, and how much better
oh,
Sam
Scarecrow.
Scarecrow, how much better Sam does by himself than Dean does. Like,
Because he was by himself. He was by himself for a couple of years at Stanford,
yeah,
without the family. So yeah, yeah, you're not wrong.
yeah, so just, I mean, Dean Dean doesn't process well without it. He really,
No,
he needs,
he doesn't do well alone.
no, he
He
really
really
doesn't.
doesn't. Yeah, and so the family has, or yeah, the show has, blood family with,
Mhm.
Sam and Dean, and while he's in the show, they have John. But I think the thing that's really beautiful, and it's one of the taglines of the show, that Bobby will
Yeah,
say, is "Family don't end with blood."
amen to
So
that.
they have this, extended family of
Mm,
people who are really important to them. Like, Dean does not have friends; he has family.
yes.
Like, the circle of people he cares about is small, and you you're not a casual acquaintance of
No.
his, not really. I
No.
mean, there are some folks, but whereas Sam, again, I think he's a little, uh, to to your point, he's, I think he's a little more comfortable. Like, I think for Dean, every person he loves is one more person he can lose.
Loose. Yep.
And Sam is, I think, a little more comfortable with the idea, which is hilarious because, like, if you don't want to live, fuck Sam. Because, like, your chances of survival go way down the second you hop in the sack with that guy. Might be worth it. But yeah, so it's funny because really, like, in some ways, he loses more people than
The
Dean
Dean
does,
does.
depending on how you think of it. So yeah, the show does really toy with this idea, the difference between blood family and found family or made family.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah,
Absolutely.
that's great. All right, I pulled that one, so this one's
Yes.
your turn. Do-do, do-do-do. Drum roll, please.
Sam girl or Dean? So, for a quick one night stand, definitely Dean. For a relationship, definitely
Sam.
Sam.
Yeah. So which I think is the qualifier this question needs is for what? For what purpose? Now, let me say I am an unapologetic Dean girl. I am. I do love Dean. However, I would not attempt a relationship with him. Like, uh, you know, partly because I'm a woman of a certain age and I have dated Dean and it didn't go well. I learned my lesson.
Yeah, I mean, as I said, I am quite certain a one night stand with Dean is.
Well, he certainly had enough practice.
Yes, exactly.
He damn well better be good at it. Oh, and in give me a second. The kids are not all right. Where the friends, he shows up at the party at Ben's birthday party, and Lisa's friends are in the backyard like that's the D. So clearly his reputation precedes him. I don't think I don't think Sam is a slouch either.
I don't think he is either. But
Mom tells me.
there's just something about
Oh,
that smile and that dark hair that just all he's got to do is, yeah, yeah, just, whoo.
say I'm an unapologetic teen girl. But and I will say, like, moving past who do you fuck, who do you marry? Moving past that. Um, I think both characters are really interesting.
Yes,
They are very different. They make a good team.
yes,
That they and I think that they both bring different skill. I don't want to say different skills. Well, yeah, no, we're moving past the being fucking married. We're moving past that. I'm going to assume both brothers have skills based on what we see in the show. But um but in all seriousness, i- they're both good at, like, I'm going to say research. I'm going to say research. They're both good at research. They're
yeah,
both capable of doing research.
yes.
Sam enjoys it.
Mm-hmm.
Dean can do it. He doesn't enjoy it.
No.
So it's one of those things where, like, they're both really well written, very well fleshed out characters. Um, and so I'm always kind of amused when there's this sort of Sam girl versus Dean girl debate, and I'm like, you know what, there's room in the family for both of us, and if somebody's a Sam girl, that's one less person I have to compete with. You love who you love. It's all
Mhm.
mine.
Absolutely.
All right, let us know in the comments which one you are. Okay, pulling out another hook. Pulling out. Oh,
Okay, let me get your mind out of the gutter.
why? I don't understand. Okay, what character would have the best chance of a successful spin-off? Not Sam or Dean, obviously, because they've already got their own show.
Yeah.
Would,
Hmm.
do you want me to go?
I'd like to see Bobby.
That's what I was gonna say. I would really love to see Bobby and Rufus back in the day. I'd love to see. With okay, so now here's a question: who would you want to play? What actor would you want to see play the young Bobby? Because I'm imagining a spin-off where like it kind of goes back and forth in time, where we've got Jim Beaver playing now Bobby, and then maybe it's a trip through Bobby's hunter's journal. So who plays young Bobby? Who's who would be
Oh,
a good like trucker cap flannel wearing?
who obviously is not Jensen or Jared
No, no.
because
They're
yeah,
they're
that
Sam and
did
Dean.
Dean.
They well, but yeah, because if they're playing young Bobby, they can't be Sam and Dean for
Mhm.
cameos when they make appearances on the spinoff.
Oh God,
Uh,
I'm really torn on this one.
yeah, I think we might have to stew on that a bit and come back to it.
Yeah,
So
because like it would be phenomenal to do
I
it.
think yeah, you know what? Okay, I'm gonna say this. I would kind of want to see Tom Holland. I would kind of like, I think he could do it.
Spider?
Spider-Man. I would kind of like to see him a little rough around the edges.
See, all I can see of it is him being kind of a nerdy, and I can't picture him as Bobby.
No, I think he could do it.
Um, actually, the one who and I'm blanking on the actor's name.
Give me a hint.
He was the one. I should know this. He played Ty on Heartland.
Oh, I have
He was
no idea.
he was the one in the tent in
Oh, oh, I would have to take your word for it. I
because
have.
he does that rustic character
Okay.
really well. That would be cool to see
Okay.
actually him as young Bobby.
All right. I'll give you
Ooh,
that.
ooh, actually, like now, it's like I can see that one.
We've lost Lynn. All right, last one.
Grand Mortal, that's who it is.
Okay. Have you ever had a supernatural experience? I have if you need a minute.
Well,
Excuse me.
one I'll definitely say yes to because there have definitely been times where I swear my first cat is like in bed with me, and that cat has been Alex has been dead for a number of years now.
That's the number one reported paranormal experience is ghost cats
So
by
yeah,
a wide margin. Like the number one reported supernatural experience is ghost cats.
yeah. Now you've told me that one before. So the one, and whether you would call this a supernatural experience or not is up to the imagination.
All
But
right, tell me.
yeah, I'm sure you've heard. You heard the Lilydale story?
Oh, Lilydale. Oh, wait till you see. Wait till you see. Yes, I have my opinions about Lilydale, but you go ahead.
Well, so do I. Which is why. So many years ago, um, I went with my cousin, and my mother looked at me and said, "What?" Because she knows I do not like it. I did not like it. I didn't want to go. I went for my cousin who really wanted to go. And she's like, Lynn, for the first time in your life, just sit there and shut up. Just don't talk. Just sit there.
That's what your husband said on your honeymoon.
Just I'm kidding. I'm really kidding. So I was like, okay, I will just sit here and just be quiet. And
Lie back and think of England.
yeah, I will just let my cousin enjoy.
Okay, so what happened?
So I'm so first reading we go to, they call upon me. I'm like, okay, whatever. And they say to me, you're going to have this experience in the fall that is going to change the course of your life.
Okay.
I met my husband then.
Okay.
Went to a healing temple where my mother swore she has never once ever seen someone get a reading in a healing temple.
Mm,
And I had just injured something. I
yeah.
don't know. At that point, I was always injuring something. So I'm getting a healing. I think actually I went for my migraines. Getting a healing. I get the same fucking reading in the middle of the healing temple. And my mother is sitting there in the middle of the temple trying not to cackle because we're in this healing temple and she can tell what the woman is doing. And she's like, you are the first person I have ever seen get a freaking reading in the middle of a healing temple. So the fact that like it happened to me like 2 or 3 times that day, different people gave me the exact same message. And that fall I met my husband.
You did. You met your husband in school.
So yeah, so tell me
Okay.
whether someone up there was giving everyone the same message. Who knows? But
It's
it's been a really funny story for 20 years.
so a job that I had um a long time ago. Let's just say a long time ago. I was working in the mental health field, and the building that the program I worked for was housed in was an old farmhouse. And one night after some kind of an activity, everybody was gone. I was alone in the building, and I was just taking a couple minutes to clean up. And like there had been a party, I was like washing some dishes, and I said, "Don't worry, guys, it's you don't need to stand there and watch me wash dishes." So I sent everybody home, and I'm in the kitchen, and behind me on the other side of the kitchen was like a ledge over some cabinets. All the doors and windows are closed. There's no fans on. It's just me in the kitchen by myself. And there had been a stack of paperwork. And all of a sudden, the whole stack of paperwork, it was like somebody took their hand and just went and threw the whole stack on the floor. And I'm like, okay. So I went over, I gathered up all the papers, and I put them in a nice, neat stack again, and I put them back on the shelf. I go back to washing the dishes, and a couple seconds later, again, the whole stack violently onto the floor. And I looked at it and I went, nope. And I left them all on the floor. And I walked out, locked the door behind me. Like, all yours. All yours. You want the papers on the floor? The papers can stay on the floor. Peace. I'm out.
So now this did not happen to me, but it was a very known story. I used to work for I did retail for a number of years.
Mm,
And in one of the stores I worked for, it was known that the one store before we remodeled it, it was rumored to be haunted. So
okay.
like
Okay.
people would be in the back room and they'd hear high-heeled
Mm.
shoes and all that. So
It was a
fortunately,
very stylish ghost.
yes, it was apparently. So and then the store was built on top of where like
Native American burial ground.
or just at least on an apple orchard where for their
There
head of the house.
had been a giant scarecrow, and they were to it.
So.
Cemetery, they only moved the graves, gravestones, not the bodies.
So like one morning, like we came like I mean things fall in retail stores,
Of course.
especially like
Of
pillows
course.
and stuff like that. But like from where the wall was to where these two particular pillows ended up, they would have had to do one heck of a blow from the fan.
Always now? I didn't know it was that kind of store.
And they were the initials to the person who owned the farmhouse that where the store now stood. So it was CB, and that was what was on because we actually got our hands the original, like the original like deed for the
Okay.
house from where, and the owner was CB.
Right.
And so the pillows would have had to like go up around the cash wrap and sit there, and it was her initials.
I have this thing with the pillows like running out on the corners.
So yeah,
No. Silly pillows.
so we joked after that that CB had was haunting the store
Gotcha.
because yeah, that was, and then once we remodeled the store, that was the end of
That was
said
it.
hauntings. Thank God.
Yeah. Yeah, not interested. Well, tell us what your supernatural experiences are. If you have haunted pillows in your house that you want to tell,
Flying piece of paper.
or flying paper, and you want to tell us those stories, please do so in the comments. Until then, I am tragically I am out. You catch up.
Yes, dear.
All right, SPN family, thanks so much for coming along with us for the ride. And again, please help us.
Yes,
We
please, please.
we need a better name for the jar.
Mhm.
So until next time, stay safe, everybody.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.